My 27M, GF 25F, is upset I asked for a prenup. I won't beat around the bush. I have significantly more assets than she does. I own 2 properties and have a net worth of upward $5 million. My parents intend to leave me more inheritance later down the road, and I currently own a large stake in the family business. My fiancé, though, is refusing. We've set up talks with lawyers, but she believes that this violates the sanctity of marriage. What do I do? TLD, her fiancé doesn't want a prenup. She may think that a prenup means she will be penniless, which is not what prenups are actually for. If she hasn't already, I would encourage to have her own lawyer that can explain prenups and will ensure that the prenup works for her as well. Any good lawyer will ensure that anyway. No lawyer would have someone sign a prenup that leaves them with nothing. That way, if she does decide to sign it, it is less likely to be claimed later that she did it under duress, in which case the prenup could be thrown out. I'm writing this assuming that you're not trying to leave her with nothing if the marriage ends, and are in good faith wanting to make sure you are not taken to the cleaners, with the goal being a mutually agreeable prenup. Don't get married without a prenup. No prenup, no marriage. Simple as that. She's gotta make that choice, and you need to protect your assets. Don't back down. With that assets, a prenup is an absolutely must-have. Don't budge, you will regret it later. Depending on your country, inheritance is not a matrimonial asset. Offer to pay for her own lawyer and choosing to protect her rights in signing a prenuptial agreement. It may ease her mind enough to do it, knowing whatever you accumulate together going forward is also hers. Woman shrugging, light skin tone. I have less than my fiancé and he will out-earn me for life. I actually offered to have a prenup if he wanted, just to be safe and show him I would never take advantage of him. He turned me down. Getting married in a week. If someone shows you their true colors, believe them. A lot of people don't understand prenups. Is she worried that if you divorce she won't be able to afford living on her own? Before I really understood the purpose of a prenup. Protect assets that are yours before marriage, and everything after is split. I was hesitant on them too. Besides, if she believes so strongly in the sanctuary of marriage, then that means the relationship, in theory, not end in divorce anyway. It's pretty easy. You walk away now with everything, or likely walk away later with half. You decide. It really depends on the roles you both plan to take in the marriage. Are you wanting to have kids and for her to be a stay-at-home mom? If so, you're asking her to be financially dependent on you. And in return, I think she's entitled to some peace of mind that she'll be able to survive if you divorce. However, if you both plan to work and continuing growing in your careers, then I totally understand wanting a prenup. You must stick to your guns and be prepared to walk if that's what happens. Well, reading some of the comments, and I know it's more common these days, thinking about divorce before you get married is not the way to enter marriage, or should even be considered. Now her not willing to sign a prenup says she is not in it forever, lasting till death do you part. I mean, if she is to be a stay-at-home mom for kids, if that happens, she won't ever be able to excel in a career for herself, and would have little to no means for enough money to support herself in the event of divorce. If anything, have an agreement drawn up so at least she'll get some money if something like that plays OHT. Offer her X amount if you divorce and X amount if you have kids and divorce. She wants to know she's not left homeless if after spending her life birthing your children, raising them, and you cheat on her one day. Everyone is entitled to their deal breakers when it comes to dating. You requiring a prenup is reasonable considering your financial situation. Her considering it to violate the trust of a marriage is also a fair position. If it's a deal breaker for both of you, time to call it off and depart amicably. Now, I ain't sayin' she a gold digger, but she ain't messin' with no broke. Info. When is your wedding planned for? Depending on how close the wedding is. Even if it is signed, it could be nullified for duress or coercion. Just be aware of this fact. If your wedding is far enough out, then this may be a good reason to reconsider being together. Counseling. If you don't understand each other about this, then your two views of marriage are too far apart. She obviously thinks it is wrong to have to discuss this. She probably expects more trust and hope from you that she is it for you. Or more commitment that you aren't going to find someone else and divorce her. Those are the assurances she wants. That you won't ever divorce her. And you expect the assurances that she won't ever leave you and ruin your family business and what you worked hard to build. Edit. Add some things to the prenup, like you agree to go to marriage counseling with her if she asks. That's a way to prove your commitment. Don't get married without a prenup. Simple. My ex did this to me. It came down to his selfishness in the end, though, in many of his actions. Also, the way the prenup was presented was really disrespectful. I'm fine with a prenup if there are fair boundaries, rules in place, though. It is hurtful to not recognize this as what will be happening up front, though. However, if she truly loves you and the prenup is very fair, e.g., you end up having kids, she is given access to a certain amount of money for herself as a stay at home mom, and then the baby etc. gets funds of course too. Then she should be able to accept this. Sadly, people do change more than expected. The guy the first mention here became an addict, for example. No shade to addicted, but it became unlivable together and dangerous. She may not realize this fully of how such things can happen, in which case you do not want to share all your inheritance when someone becomes a stranger from who you knew. Hold your ground, but do say you will work to make the terms respectful to both of you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.